It's the Bill and Scott Cubicle Show with Billy the Kid and Scott Pang.
Cubicle Show. Cubicle Show. Cubicle Show. Cubicle Show!
It's the Bill and Scott Cubicle Show. Yeah? It's the Bill and Scott Cubicle Show. Yeah! Woo!
Here we are, live and direct. Oh, episode 160-something.
We don't know because we don't have our little board in front of us.
We're in a different area. Chances are we're going to get yelled at for being loud right there in the beginning.
Because Casey's over there
wow.
doing some... Man, we can't go anywhere.
We can't go anywhere.
We're
Here's the
not
thing,
marginalized.
right? We keep getting yelled at for doing the show or being loud in the office. And frankly, I'm just over it.
Yep.
Like, I don't mind fighting, and we've been fighting and going on and on about the librarians for the past couple weeks, and you know what? I have no problem continuing on, but it's just becoming too much. It's one email after another.
See, look at this.
See, right there, they pop
Ian
out the
Martin.
Quiet,
you!
See, it's just like, come on, Scotty B. I thought you were on our side.
It's like a game of coworker whack-a-mole. They just keep popping up.
And shushing us.
Shh.
This is the safe listening zone, so shh.
Oh, the
It's
shush
not,
listening
it's not
zone.
It's not the quiet listening zone. It's safe.
It's shh. All right, so we're going to try to do a show here today. We don't have a board in front of us. Usually we have all this stuff in front of us so we can do stuff. But we got to talk about, is Travis Scott really Kylie Jenner's baby daddy? Katy Perry and Taylor Swift have made up. Justin Bieber says celebrity lives...
Don't matter. No, I'm just kidding.
Don't matter, or they matter just as much.
Yeah, they're not any better than
regular
a normal person's
Joe
life.
Schmoes. And then we'll also get into whatever else we have, because honestly, we are not really fully planned and prepared.
We were in the break room, breaking around. I was on my government mandated break, actually, while we were, just kind of chatting with some other people in the building about the future of the Cubicle Show, because we weren't even sure that we were necessarily going to do it today, because of all these emails that Scott just laid this all out, but I kind of want to just say my piece here, if you don't mind, because I'm frankly sick of getting emails about our volume.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what, I feel like we have to do the show for the people, because, sure, it's small potatoes here, we're doing a live stream, and our numbers are not necessarily through the roof, but there's a contingent of people, a core group of people who actually watch this show every day and who look forward to it, and I don't want to deprive them of that experience just because we got a bunch of people out here assuming that our workplace is a library or a morgue or another place where, friggin' a quiet place, for God's sake. As though some kind of monsters are going to drag us off if we make any noise.
My biggest, complaint is, like you said, it's like, we work in entertainment. Well, you expect, creative people to be quiet and to be, normal? I'm crazy. I know I'm crazy. I've got crazy thoughts. I just throw them out there. Listen, we give content not only for the Cubicle Show, but other shows and radio stations could take the content we're doing and take it to their show. They don't have to necessarily do what we're doing, but we're loud in the office. They could talk about annoying people in their office and then get listeners to call in about that. They could talk about things that happen. You know what I mean? There's so many things that happen throughout the day.
Yeah.
And with the show, you could just take to on air with you and make it real life. Make things even more relatable. That's the problem with radio in general, is the lack of creativity that's tried to force upon it.
Especially when this company's supposed to be all about being live and local. Because, you got all these other companies that are syndicated or, they pre-record their shows or whatever. You never know who's live. And on our stations, we have people live all the time, right? So you could take our content that we're talking about on the Cubicle Show, like if we talk about something that you didn't think of, or if we do something stupid, and you want to go ahead and take that onto your show, you can go ahead and make fun of me. I don't care. Say whatever you want about me.
Facts.
But, hey, look. Sean
Here's our
stopped by.
biggest supporter right here, Sean
Hey, guys.
McMaster of the B95.5 Breakfast
It's
Club.
Wine Down Wednesday on B95.
How long you been drinking wine for?
Since 8:15.
what a time.
Well, here's the thing. It's Empire Wine, and every hour from 9 through 5, you can win a $25 gift card to Empire Wine. It's Wine Down Wednesday.
So you can listen to B95.5 for that, because Sean supports Cubicle Show, so we'll support him.
Of course, we have to do the tasting.
Ooh, give it
On
a
the
nice
show.
little...
Yeah, so how could you talk about it otherwise?
Yeah. How can we talk about the wine if we don't
Yeah,
taste it?
Exactly.
Come on now, common sense.
So are you guys sad? Are you talking to the people about how nobody likes you around here?
We're
Yeah.
talking about why we're in exile, why we're in self-imposed exile
Yeah.
over here.
First of all, the green room's a great place to be.
It is.
It
a
actually
nice
is. I really
place.
like the look of it.
You got the privacy, but is it really a cubicle show?
It's not.
That's
Today it's
the
not.
essence-
It's a green room
isn't
show.
the essence of the cubicle show two guys at work bothering everybody?
Yes, that's what speaks to the heart of the issue.
Oh,
That's
man,
it's
this-
quite true.
I get it.
You're in on the
See,
joke.
Even when you bother me, I'm like, well, what's it going to be? 10 minutes? It's
Right?
fine. It's fine.
See,
That's
that's,
the
why
attitude.
Sean has been successful for
I see-
many years.
What have you been in?
30 years? Wow.
So I see why you call me Tall Sean now.
Yeah.
Even
We
with an
gotta
angle up, we
constantly
got
adjust it.
There we go. We could just.
That's a bit of
Perfect.
a bothersome thing.
Yeah.
All right, I'll leave you to it.
Well, thank you for
Sean.
stopping by and
Appreciate
sharing
him. Definitely check him
beverage
out.
news.
As you're listening to Bill, listen to Sean.
Yeah, you
Listen
can
to
flip
both of
back
them
and
at the
forth.
same
As you're
time.
listening to.
Yeah.
Actually, you share a lot of it.
Yeah.
Dual wheeled radios.
At the same damn time, listen. All right, so let's talk about this Kylie Jenner incident, right? So a lot of people are saying, yo, that baby that Kylie Jenner and Travis Scott have actually looks like their or Kylie Jenner's bodyguard. So the dude on that's closest to me, which would be the viewers,
left, yeah.
is
Wait, no.
allegedly, I don't know. But anyways, the guy that's
No,
next
we're seeing
to
it
me,
how we would see it, yeah.
the guy that's
Viewers
next
left.
to me is Kylie Jenner's bodyguard, and people are saying that he is the real father of the baby, and it's not Travis Scott. And I gotta say, the baby kind of does look like him.
I feel like you could make a compelling case for that.
Like this
I don't know how you say this without being racist, though, so I'm not going to say anything more. But he does kind of resemble that person.
Yeah, I know when babies are young, there's a lot of difference, and
Yeah,
like,
they're
they
a little
haven't, like,
squishier
yeah,
and flubbier.
they
You
haven't
can't
grown
really-
into their features
Yeah.
and stuff like that yet. So you still got to be fair and give it
Oh.
time.
No. See, okay, I see it, but I actually feel like there's a lot more Post Malone in that baby. I think it's for Posty's
Little Post Malone.
offspring.
So that's the new thing going around. But Kylie says, no. That is definitely Travis's baby.
Kyle.
What did Kyle
Kyle
say?
says, let me come in and I'll make them regret trying to silence you. And then Genevieve said, it's nice outside, do your show outside so your coworkers stop whining. Which I would love to do, actually, but I don't think we can get a strong enough Wi-Fi signal outside.
I would
An
totally
outdoor,
do it
like from the
outside.
picnic table, out like nature show, that'd be pretty dope.
It's the Bill and Scott Nature Show. Yeah.
But, so I guess DNA tests are in order for young. What's the baby's name again? Stormy, for young Stormy Malone.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you want to figure out who the real dad is,
No. Is Maury going to be involved?
of course, he's the only one who does paternity tests. He oversees all of them.
All of them. He is the godfather of paternity tests. Katy Perry and Taylor Swift have made up. Bill will get into the details, break it down for you. But I do have something I want to say afterwards.
Okay.
And maybe Bill will say it when he says it. So I don't know if I'm going to say it, but go ahead.
Well, let's say this is possibly the greatest celebrity feud of the 21st century. What do you think? Think there have been better ones?
Yes.
Like who?
Taylor Kanye.
Okay, yeah, all right. Well, it's the greatest non-Kanye feud of the 21st. See, notice how Taylor Swift is at the center of all this stuff. Anyway,
What's the common problem?
but so yesterday, Taylor Swift's Reputation Stadium World. I was trying to do it without reading it. Reputation Stadium World Tour kicked off last night. So right before she went on stage for her first performance, she did an Instagram story showcasing a package she had received from Katy Perry, an actual olive branch. Katy Perry literally extended an olive branch, and if you're not familiar with the saying to extend an olive branch, it's to make peace.
Yeah.
You know, it's a gesture of peace
Waving
and
the
goodwill.
flag.
Yeah, right. And saying, hey, you know what? Let's make up, bury the hatchet, so to speak. She should have sent her a hatchet inside a box of dirt. That would have been funnier. But so she sent her this olive branch with a letter that said, hey, old friend, I've been doing some thinking on past miscommunications and feelings between us and wanted to clear the air. Now, it was longer than that, but that's really all you can make out from the little video where Taylor kind of pans by it with her phone. So Taylor captioned the video, thank you, Katy, with some heart emojis, and she was like, this means so much to me. So I guess, I mean, it's really nice. It's nice to see that, but it makes me wonder what inspired it. And I don't mean any disrespect, But do you think that Katy feels like she was defeated? Did she lose
Yes.
the beef?
This is what I wanted to say about it, is that she totally feels like she's defeated, because usually the person that, like, is... Usually it don't matter if you're in the right or the wrong. If you, quote-unquote, win, you don't say nothing. It's always the other person that tries to make it up.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen Katy Perry's career drastically hit a slope like that is just a straight down shot, like crazy.
Hey, Meredith.
Meredith, how
Welcome
you doing?
to the Cubicle Show,
There's
live
Meredith.
from the green room.
Oh, see?
It's Wind Down Wednesday.
Don't let me interrupt.
Oh, no,
please
I'm
do.
glad to have these interruptions
Yes.
because it shows me that we can.
And I thought, I'm gonna open it.
Yeah,
Yes.
hey, I
You're
love that
always
adventurous
welcome.
spirit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
what
good to have
kinda-
that interaction we're lacking from not being in the cubicle.
So
area.
what kind of wine are you drinking here?
Okay, so this is the. I can't even say this. It's all French.
So
It's red. Which
it's
is
red wine.
rouge. That's red in French.
Oh, je m'appelle Scott.
Yeah, je m'appelle
Est-ce que tu as une maison qui s'appelle
Oh.
George?
Oh.
Je suis American.
What I just said. Do you have a house named George?
I
Do you?
do.
You did.
I did name my house George. How'd you know?
I'm gonna sit here over here and watch you guys.
Oh, okay.
By all
Please
means.
do.
like a, you know, just like a wine.
Ooh.
Because wine on.
Wine. Oh, zing.
Wine wouldn't I?
Man,
Oh,
I feel
yo.
like we should just make this
Right?
the green room show.
The
from
Breakfast
now on. I'm having
Club
too much fun today.
definitely gets lit on Wednesday, so
True story.
you go want to check that out. And so yeah, Katy Perry. I don't know if you agree here, Meredith,
Okay.
or if you agree, Bill, but I think that she sends out this letter to Katy Perry. You heard about the letter Katy Perry sent to Taylor Swift?
Oh my gosh, with the olive branch?
Yes.
You want to hear something
Yes.
interesting
Yes.
You
about
want to
this?
scoot
Yeah,
in
come
here
on.
with us?
Come on over.
Okay,
Have a
so-
seat on
so-
the cubicle couch.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. So we talked about this morning, and it actually, we talked about, you know, people who have had, you know, maybe a long-standing fight with friends or something like that, and I did. So I actually extended an olive branch this morning to somebody I hadn't talked to. Turned out it was almost 10 years because I
Wow.
looked at our messenger, and it was the last time I talked to her was in November of 2009. So
Oh,
I
wow.
extended
Oh.
this olive branch to her,
That
and
wasn't
she
10
wrote
years
me
ago,
right
was it?
back. And we are talking now.
Really?
We're talking now
Yo,
because of
hey.
Katy Perry.
Give me the nuts right
Hey,
there.
look
Isn't
at
that
that
funny?
inspiration. That's awesome.
And that it prompted the whole thing.
Do you cringe at the last messages that you sent from 09?
Oh no, it was
Okay.
no, they weren't me, and I think we were just probably texting
Oh,
or
okay.
whatever. But it made me scroll up and think, oh
That's
my gosh,
crazy.
it's been almost 10 years. So it was kind of funny that whole thing with Katy Perry and Taylor Swift
Now,
made me do it.
do you think
Thanks,
Katy
guys.
Perry did that because she really wants to be friends with her, or because she knows her career fell off and that this is her way to possibly come back? Because she did the Super Bowl and nobody cared. Nobody's fell off that hard since the
I
Super
think people
Bowl.
cared about the Super
No,
Bowl.
no,
but
I mean
since
like
then-
after that,
Yeah,
nobody's
right.
cared.
Yeah, the fact that they made songs and they made money off of the fact that they were in a fight, not a bad thing. And now they're just coming back around, and maybe they'll write new songs and they'll
Well-
make even more money because of it.
Plus, let's
Maybe they'll
consider
do
this.
a collaboration,
Oh,
That's what
which
I'm
could
big money
happen
for.
next. I would love that
and
song.
then the
mixtape.
remix
I like-
drops with Kanye.
Oh!
Oh!
Whoa!
I didn't mean to interrupt.
No,
no,
by all
please.
means, again.
that
we-
was
we
just
love
my
the
Kanye.
participation. Oh, I'll let you finish.
Damn.
I'll let you finish.
Oh, Meredith is so
I love
good,
you
yo.
We also
Love
have to
you.
consider the fact that Katy Perry is making $25 million a season on American Idol, which just got re-upped for season 2. So she's not exactly crashing and burning. Like, sure, maybe she's not as relevant as she was before. She's still doing all right in terms of, you know, leveraging her public persona.
What do
Into
you,
a payday.
Genevieve, right? That's how you say it? What do you suggest as an olive branch? What do we extend to the haters in the office? Do we go buy
Earplugs?
earplugs? Do we go buy a box of Oreos and leave an Oreo on everybody's desk?
Noise-canceling headphones?
Like, what do you suggest? You know,
a towel to wrap
yeah.
around your face to soundproof it?
all right,
Moving on.
moving on.
Justin Bieber next? Or,
yes, that was the
yes,
other thing on
We're
the
kind of
list.
winging it. We usually have an outline, but not
Yeah.
today. Justin Bieber hopped on Instagram after the Met Gala, and he posted this message. It was a little screenshot of his Notes app. In all caps. I got a burp.
Burp it out.
Excuse me. That was unprofessional. Well,
Wow.
I've never done that live on the air, though. I've always managed to hold it in, so I'm proud of myself for that. Okay, so he says, "Hey, world, a glamorous lifestyle you see portrayed by famous people on Instagram. Don't be fooled thinking their life is better than yours. I can promise you it's not." So we got young Bieber here, the millionaire, superstar, internationally renowned pop artist, telling people that his life is no better than, our life, your life. And you know what? I have this is like something of a hot take. I kind of agree with that. I think he's right. I think he's got a point.
Wow, so you're saying everybody's life is just as equal to the next person's life?
In terms of value, yes, but not. I mean, maybe not necessarily in terms of success or happiness
Or monetization.
But here's the thing, just because you have a lot of money doesn't mean you stop having problems, right?
No.
If you get a lot of money, that gives you. Maybe that solves your basic problems, your basic human needs, but it opens up an entirely new set of problems.
Look at somebody that we love to talk about a lot on the show, Kanye West. I would say he's got a boatload of problems, and he's very wealthy.
Exactly. One of my favorite books of all time is The Outsiders, and there's a quote from that. Things are rough all over. Actually, that book is kind of all about how, like, the rich kids and the poor kids, like, they all have not necessarily the same problems, but they all got problems. On different scales, and it reminded me of my younger days back when I was a janitor. I was talking about this on air earlier today too. How I would be, listening to the radio while I janited, and somebody would get on air, and one of the DJs would be, talking about their personal problems or whatever was going on in their life, and I'd be like, "How do you have problems? You get to talk on the radio. That's ridiculous. Stop being so self-absorbed." I actually used to think that, and now I talk on the radio, and I'm like, still have problems. Like, being able to do one thing doesn't necessarily solve all your problems. Yeah. And I'm not, we're not even, celebrities. We're not rich. So it's like, we don't even have the luxury of having these advanced rich people problems.
We make regular money like regular people.
I make probably less than some of my friends, actually, so.
No, I know I make less than probably some of my friends.
So, I have the same problems, except now I talk for a living instead of pulling out trash.
A big misconception is if you're not like a big superstar on the radio, and Elvis Duran,
like these people who actually make millions of dollars.
Howard Stern,
there's very few of them.
Ryan Seacrest, you got your handful of guys that are very wealthy, but if you're not in a major market, Albany's just outside major markets, or like a medium market, a lot of times people will make sacrifices. They know they could go make a lot more money somewhere else, but because they love what they do and it's for the people, they continue to do it.
Yeah, they don't pay us any extra to do this Cubicle Show.
No.
This is just because we like doing it.
Actually, this Cubicle Show has got us close to being fired multiple times.
So, and that actually brings up another point that I want to make earlier when we were on one about being told to be quiet. That was one of the things I loved about working here. Was that you go out on the floor and you got all these radio personalities and they're all interacting. And so, it's like all these people you could listen to on different stations, they're all talking at once. And it's kind of this, explosive mixture of pop culture and fun. But it's like, that they're, hammering down on that right now. And I don't understand it. It's weird.
You just saw how fun it was when Meredith and Sean came in. They're from B95, Ron Jams, complete opposite. You know what I mean?
Right.
And how fun that was with them.
Yeah. And I don't get it. It's like, they want to turn this into a regular, boring office. That's why I don't work at a regular boring office. I probably make more money. That's the point. Most of us in radio make average to below average money because we like what we do, and that's why we do it. And I'm friggin' starting to get sick of getting yelled at every day for putting in effort to do a good job at it.
Mm-hmm. So that's pretty much it. We are doing this for the people, and it may lead to us being terminated on site. TOS. Okay.
Kyle's a monocle emoji with some cheese with that wine.
Oh yeah, we
Made me
should
chuckle.
give him some. I meant to comment on that. That's a good idea. All right, but what I'm saying is cheese is too expensive to spend on these complainers.
Have we been going for 20 minutes
Yes,
already?
we have.
Look at that. This is like a time vortex. Because I had other things I even wanted to talk about.
Oh, here's the biggest thing, right? Also, is that no matter who pretends to like you, chances are they're skeeving behind your back.
That's also true because, we had some people at the wedding the other night who were like, "Oh, you guys should do a Cubicle Show." And we know they complain about us being too loud. And then they're like, "Oh, well, we don't complain." I'm like, okay.
There's your wokeness for the day.
That's a good Stay Woke Wednesday. I almost forgot. Jeez.
Anyways, we still rebellion as much as we can. It's a lot. It's a lot to take on.
I'm about to move my desk from the floor area into the studio so that no one has to listen to my annoying voice ever again.
They honestly don't know really what they got themselves into, and if we can document it, we'll put together a video and put it out for you. But I know Bill is just like me with this. We are going to be extra
Thanks, Bill. It's
about
time.
it.
I appreciate it. Finally, you're moving. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes.
Merry Christmas.
That's Steve Murray,
We are
everyone.
going to be extra petty about this. If I get asked a question today, I'm going to simply say, is it okay if I respond?
one of the salespeople earlier was like, "Oh, I heard from my client that something," and I was like, "Oh, really? You could hear your client over my annoying voice?" So that's the kind of shots I'll be taking left and right. And John's gonna be like, "Why are you so passive aggressive?" And I'll be like, "Let me print out this book of emails you sent me with complaints about us being loud.
Yeah.
That's why."
Yep, and by the way, that's the foundation of us being fired. That's him starting to build his case.
I know. That's why I'm like this. That's why it
Yep.
pisses me off. I'm like, oh, they can document all the time that they've yelled at us and be like, well, I told them this.
But the thing we got into yesterday, you know what? Let's go a little longer. We were talking about the acronym IMHL, right? And I was like, I don't know what it is. And he was like, oh, how don't you know what it is? And he's like, but do you think it means this or that? And I'm like, oh, I don't know if it means this or that because I never heard of it. Long story short, we got into this big heated debate over it, right?
It was
over
loud.
ignorance and all this stuff, right?
It was loud. It was inappropriate. I'll say it was inappropriate.
We are the only ones that get yelled at. Like, we were the only ones involved in the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say anybody else's name because that's not what I'm going to do. But there was like 3 or 4 other people that were involved in the conversation almost the whole entire time.
Yeah.
But yet we're the only ones that get yelled at about it. So once again, proven we get marginalized. Woo! Damn, we complain a lot, Bill.
I did a segment this morning about how complaining is therapeutic. I talked about this yesterday on the Cubicle Show. I was like, pooping.
Are you over us
It's like
complaining?
taking an emotional dump.
Should we just shut up and not tell you about this this ongoing war we have here? Should we? Do you care about this? Because if you don't care, then we won't talk about it.
I mean, I think the
anymore.
people that care watch the Cubicle Show, and I think that speaks for itself. And I
Yeah,
love
but are
all
they
those
only
people.
tolerating it because they like the show? Should we stop
I mean,
talking about it?
That like is the show. That's like the foundation of the show. Is just the 2 idiots sitting and talking at a computer screen.
Yeah, that's true.
Man, that's what we do, and pissing people off. Of course, we're not pissing people off today because we're in this room. But I know at least Steve can hear us.
Yeah.
There's probably some people out there that are walking by and like, oh my god, they're still talking. They're still doing that thing they do. Please.
You know what? Go out, sell something. Sales are made out, not at your desk. All right, so with that being said, you can catch the Cubicle Show Monday through Thursday on the
Probably.
Jams Facebook page at 10:30 Eastern Time.
Subject to termination at any point because that seems like the way it may be going soon. Because
Yep.
that's the only time zone that matters.
Bye.
1. Cubicle Show. Cubicle Show. Cubicle Show. Cubicle Show! That's what I'm talking about, boy! Bill and Scott Cubicle Show. Yeah? Bill and Scott Cubicle Show. Yeah! Bill and Scott Cubicle Show. It's the Bill and Scott Cubicle Show. It's the Bill and Scott Cubicle Show. It's the Bill and Scott Cubicle Show. Cubicle Show. Cubicle Show. Cubicle Show. Cubicle Show! Not a rectangle show. Not a triangle show. Not a pyramid show. It's a cubicle show! Bill and Scott Cubicle Show. Yeah? Bill and Scott Cubicle Show. Yeah! Cubicle Show. We just got 1. Boy!